Lions and Rams.
Rams -5.5 is the play. My favorite bet. Clinches playoff spot with a win, so it matters a lot for the Rams, and they've won 7 of 8 games, many comfortably. They have the fewest offensive mistakes in the league. They don't get penalized. They don't get sacked. They don't give the ball away. And now they're at home against the Lions team searching for an offensive identity. The Lions averaging 13 points a game in their 3 road losses. This is 2 teams that feel like one's totally in rhythm, one is out of rhythm. Right now, Jared Goff is facing a 38% pressure rate. They can't pick up first downs on 3rd or 4th. Matt Stafford at home this year has been unbelievable. He's got time to throw. I think the Rams win, and the Rams cover. Final score 33-26.
Colin can't make up his mind about the Detroit Lions saying that they're out of rhythm, and before he said they're in rhythm, and now that Dan Campbell took over the play calling, they're significantly better, and all this type of stuff. I always, I'm the most broken record about looking at the game through this lens or that lens and things of that nature, and the perspective, and especially when I'm going to talk about a game, I do try to think about not necessarily what lens, because I kind of mean that in a different context now, but what do I think is kind of the most important, or what am I looking to, the A key to the game, as we'll often see in some games where it's what are the 3 keys to the Lions winning or something? And it's, those keys are always, it's the same thing for every team, right? They gotta establish the run, they gotta minimize big plays from this big play offense, right? And it's football's generic. It's, it can be very copy and paste. It's one of the things that when I first started making videos stressed me out the most, because I was just oh my gosh. I was I could say the same exact thing about every single team, and it was just do we all just agree that it's just, everything's just really repetitive, and we just go along with it because we love football and we love sports? It's just, how do you beat the Warriors? You got to slow down, Steph. Oh, okay. But when I do look at this game, I do try to think, how do the Lions have the best chance at winning, right? What puts them in the position to win? And to me, it needs to be an overpowering offense. And it needs to be an offense that is able, and this is what I kind of said throughout the course of this season, that the Lions are too reliant on their 4th down conversions, on going for it on 4th down. And it's they need to be great 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down. The game can't come down to, do you convert? Do you go 3 for 4 from 4th down, or 1 for 3 on 4th down? And too many of their games, when they do only score 17 points or something like that, like they did against the Chiefs, it was because they didn't convert those 4th downs. And that's why what they did against the Cowboys, I was good, you're kicking field goals. I think they only went for it on 4th down, once or something, or maybe no times. I forget, but memory serves me correctly. It certainly wasn't a lot. And it was just and you still piled on the points. And if they can have a highly efficient offense that is not so reliant on, we're going for it on 4th down, because if you give short, because first off, if you miss out on a field goal and give up good field position to this Rams defense, you're in trouble. And the whole thing to me is this. The defense could be in trouble right now because of some of the injuries that they have, and just because the defense hasn't been quite what you would want it to be. And the mentality for that, the way how Dan Campbell tried to handle that, was well then, we're just going all in offense. We are going hyper. We got to score 50 points to win this game. And that sounds good in theory, right? It sounds what else are you going to do? We just got to go for broke. But again, when you don't convert on 4th downs, or when you don't have sustained drives, you're just making life even harder on your defense. And if you still just kind of play football the right way, and maybe don't give the ball, don't have your defense get the ball, have to now get on the field on their own 40, right? In a blink of the eye. Maybe it's not so much of I got to go all in offensively, but I do have to find ways to maybe make things a little bit easier on my defense. And that maybe we're going to punt it and try to pin them inside the 5-yard line now, right? Little things like that. We're gonna keep them rested. We're gonna really try to have some sustained drives. We're not gonna just try to score as fast as we can because we got to keep getting the points. It's like we're just, you know, run the ball. We're gonna be smart with our play calling and how quickly we call our plays. Like we're gonna try to make things a little bit easier, you know, after a drive or two. Defensively, we're going to, you know, hopefully have a sustained drive on offense. So now the coaching staff can start talking to the defensive players. The defensive players can have conversations with each other. They can learn and grow in that moment, right? Like it's just everything doesn't have to be just explosives, bang, 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 bang. And so that's just kind of my mentality with it right now with the Detroit Lions. And yeah, I think even though this is obviously such an offensive forward team, the points in the offense has to come naturally rather than we got to go for broke and pile on as many points as we can. And I think that's honestly what they did against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, to be very clear, that Cowboys defense is obviously nowhere close to the Rams. And I will trust the Rams offense over the Cowboys offense any day of the week. But I think the Lions specifically in that Cowboys game played very balanced, very smart, and it led to a ton of points and a massive lead. And they were able to control the game the entire time, essentially. So, you don't always have to go for broke. You just don't. And so I'm just fascinated to see what is the actual game plan here. Can the defense disrupt Stafford and company? And what can this offense do against a great defense, a well-coached defense? Because that's all that has been my last true remaining concern about the offense, is the play calling against a great, well-coached defense. That, you know, it's going to be a true chess match. Can you play chess with a great defensive coach, a great defensive team in general? That's what I want to see. I haven't quite seen it just yet. That you do that, you win this game, you should have a ton of confidence in the Lions then moving forward. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Detroit Lions losing to the Los Angeles Rams, according to Colin Cowherd? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here. And I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.